Happy Friday! So since it's Friday, guys, you know I have not talked about a herpes cure. And I know y'all been like, Belize ain't talked about no cure. Is Belize really cured? Do she have herpes anymore? Is she just talking? Why haven't she said anything about it? Do she believe in a cure? Do she think that stuff is real? Is that stuff that folks post is real? Is that stuff really a scam? Is it? Okay, guys, so I am going to tell y'all how I feel about herpes and a cure. Okay, let me introduce myself. As y'all know, I am Belize Samuels, the STD life coach. I help African American women between the ages of 21 to 45 years old living with the stigma, overcoming the stigma of herpes. As y'all know, I help everybody. So if you're anybody of other races, other age brackets, I am here to help you, serve you. I love you. Reach out to me. I'm here for you. So with that being said, let's jump right into the topic, herpes cure. So with that being said, guys, as y'all know, right now, at this given moment, there is no cure that is worldwide, that is available to the world right now, that everybody can get at this given moment with some insurance or anything of that nature. No, it's no cure. Okay? And you're thinking like, well, Belize, I've seen this stuff with Dr. CB and things like this. Let me tell you something. I love Dr. CB, guys. No, not at the moment. Okay, thank you. So with that being said, guys, so as y'all know, I love Dr. CB. I followed Dr. CB. I was trying to do the things that Dr. CB talked about. As we know, the whole thing, Dr. CB did pass away, so rest in peace, Dr. CB. He's an absolute amazing man. He have done some great things, and they did not want him to talk about anything. But I want to be honest with you guys. Very, very honest. Y'all can say what you want, but my whole thing is Dr. CB is amazing. But a lot of you guys will not do what Dr. CB tell you to do. Okay? I'm being honest. What Dr. CB is telling you to do, a lot of you guys don't even want to do right to lose weight. So that's just, I'm being honest. I'm only being honest with you guys. I don't want you to take this any offense. I'm only telling y'all the truth. And at that, like, Dr. CB is very strict. And I know a lot of people who have tried to do Dr. CB and they did not succeed. Not because it did not work. It's because they wasn't dedicated. So my whole thing is, I believe it works. I'm not dedicated. I'm going to be real with you. I love Dr. CB. But I like certain foods. I like to eat. So with that being said, I'll just stick with herpes. I'm good. You know, certain thing. But I'm being honest with you guys. I'm being very honest, as I am being a little silly with this situation. I'm being honest. A lot of you guys are not ready to do Dr. CB. And I only say that because you have to be mentally ready to deal with the things you're going to deal with when it comes to this. Your body's going to shake up a little bit. You may have a couple of draws. You may have a couple of outbreaks after that, or they may increase. So much stuff that may happen to you. And number one, that stuff is expensive. I'm being honest. I'm not saying that you can't afford it. I feel like your health is very important and that you should pay for what you want. But I'm being honest. A lot of you guys, it is out of budget for a lot of you guys, you know. So my whole thing, if it works for you, I say do it. Please tell me how it goes, because I have not heard one person, I'm being honest, I have not heard one person the whole time I have been doing this who said they did Dr. CB and they got rid of herpes. I'm being honest. I'm just being, listen to me, I'm being honest from my standpoint. If you have been cured by Dr. CB, I need to know that you've been cured by herpes and let me, been cured of herpes and let me know. Because I would love to put you on here. I would love for you to do an interview with me and tell me exactly what you did, things like this. I'm never downing anything, but I'm only telling y'all the truth. A lot of people are not ready for that, and a lot of people cannot afford that. Being honest, I haven't seen anything that's less affordable to do it. As we know, it's some people who are in other countries who offer things. My whole thing is always be careful. Dr. CB is the only one I say, you'll get your products, things that nature. Anybody else, I wouldn't really tell you to deal with these other people from other countries, because number one, it's a lot of people who are out scanning. They're trying to take advantage of us because they know we want to cure really bad and things of that nature, and we're not really being served from the health field. So my whole thing is be careful sending thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars to these people in another country. Please, guys, please don't be scammed, okay? My whole thing, really do your research. Really, really, really do your research. You need to be doing video chats with these people. You need to be seeing them. You need legit websites, not somebody who say, oh, I got the cure and just send me money. No, 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 no. No, you need to make sure they're legit people and you're giving your money to legit people. Because there's some people I know out here who have given their money to people and things happen. They start increasing outbreaks and stuff, and people are like, oh, you got to give me more money and more money and more money. My whole thing is, I don't feel like it's necessary for you to continue to give more money. If you say this is the amount that I need and this is what I need to pay and this is the results I'm going to get, then you should get those results. They shouldn't continue to eat your money, and they shouldn't be asking for your social security numbers. They should be asking for all this other personal stuff. So my whole thing is just really be careful out here, guys. Please, because I'm sure people have been warning me that people are using my videos to sell cures. So what? I don't really care what they're trying to sell because I don't sell a cure. That's not what I'm selling. I promote mental health, guys. I promote physical health, spiritual health. My whole thing is that's what I'm here for. My whole thing is I'm here to prepare you for a cure. I'm here to help you get ready for whenever the cure comes, or if you want to do Dr. CB, or you got an auntie who is from another country and she says she can help you heal and things of that nature, then cool. But my thing is I am here to help you get mentally ready for that. A lot of you guys are not mentally ready for a cure. And let me tell you why you're not mentally ready for a cure. You're not mentally ready for a cure because you don't even understand how you got here. And that may sound mean, but my whole thing is, how do you even get herpes? Like, my whole thing is, how did you get it? Do you even know how herpes work? If you still don't know how herpes work, your chances of getting herpes again is very high. So my whole thing is, are you ready to go through the process again so you can get rid of herpes again? So my whole thing is, if you're going to get rid of herpes, what are you going to do to prevent from getting herpes again? If you can't tell me how you're going to prevent yourself fully, how you're going to prevent yourself from getting herpes again, then you're not quite ready to get cured yet. Because at the end of the day, guys, as we know, it ain't people who have herpes who are really giving herpes to people. It's people who don't have no clue they have herpes. So my whole thing is now, going back into this world, not having herpes again, now you got to ask 101 questions and make sure these tests are valid. Because as we know, STD, herpes testing are not always valid. So they can give you a false negative that first to say they don't have it and turn around they do have it, and now you're back to having herpes. This is not a scare tactic at all. I don't want you to think I'm trying to scare you, but I'm going to give you the real. My whole thing is the chance of you getting herpes again is high. I mean, it's 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 6, depending on where you're looking for the information at. So my whole thing, like 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 6 of people have herpes, and 90% of those people don't know they have herpes. My whole thing is, what are you going to do this time from curing yourself from having herpes to prevent yourself from getting herpes again? I'm just saying. My whole thing is, if you do it, my whole thing, have a game plan how to not get it again. My whole thing, you don't want to cure yourself and turn around and get it again. Nobody want to cure themselves and turn around and get it again. So my whole thing is, make sure if you're going to cure yourself, make sure you have a clear plan when it goes back to dating, cure plan on how to talk to your mates, cure plan on how to protect yourself during sex to prevent from getting this again, and educate the people you're with to prevent that, because if not, your chance of getting herpes again is very high. It's very high. But I just wanted to talk about this because a lot of you guys asked me, or I'm sure y'all are wondering, like, why Belize haven't talked about a herpes cure? Is she really cured? No, I have herpes, guys. It is in my blood still. I do not have outbreaks like that because I know my triggers. But at the end of the day, guys, I still have herpes. And I never have been a person to care about a cure, just to be completely honest with you. I've never been a person who cared about a cure because a cure wasn't even talked about when I found out I had herpes. Nobody wasn't talking about a cure. I'm sorry, my phone went off. But nobody even talking about a cure. It wasn't even information like that on herpes when I found out. So with that being said, I got to a point where I was prone to realize I had to live with this and how I was going to live with this and how I was going to move past this. So my whole thing, I think sometimes within this new generation, so much information is out here. Internet is kind of like all over the place. People are trying to feed off weaknesses and trying to get y'all money and things like that. You just have to be careful. My whole thing, if you want a cure, I need you to do your research. And on top of doing your research, you need to look for credibility. You need somebody who will really know what they're doing. I would strongly suggest that you go to holistic doctor. I mean, that went to school for it, things of that nature. I would really suggest you go to a holistic doctor, somebody who have an office, somebody who got some papers on the wall, something like that for that. Because at the end of the day, a cure is a cure, guys, and that's something that takes time. And I don't want anybody to say, oh, you can get rid of it in 8 months. Guys, come on. Come on, that's a lot of dedication. So my whole thing is nobody even getting over breast cancer in a year. It takes time. So just depending on how the person is living, what stage they're in, it's so many different things. So my whole thing is if you're gonna get a cure, if you're gonna cure yourself, give yourself time. Don't be looking for a quick thing. Look for long term and have a game plan to keep you from getting that. So I would strongly suggest if anybody's a holistic doctor, and I mean you have a website, you're legit. I'm not gonna promote anybody who is just backdoor type thing. If you're legit, post your information below. Guys, everything with make sure you do all your research. Listen to your inner being. If you feel funny about a person, don't do business with them. Don't give them your money because you'll be very frustrated later when you should listen to your intuition. So with that being said, guys, I love you. I just really wanted to come and just tell y'all that because a lot of y'all thinking that I'm cured and I'm not cured. I love Dr. CB, so I really want to talk on that. But my whole thing is be ready for the commitment that you have to make to be cured. That means changing how you eat. That means so many other things. Mentally ready, being dedicated, being committed, sacrificing things. You have to do some things that a lot of you guys, I don't think you're really ready to do yet. And if you think, and I'm not saying that's for everybody, but it's some people who are just not ready for that. I have heard it within our own community. Some people like, that's just too much. So my whole thing, if you're not a person who think it's too much, my whole thing is when you do it, be patient. When you do it, make sure you do your research and make sure you're not allergic to any of that stuff that you're taking. Because my whole thing at the end of the day, a lot of these roots and all this other stuff you're taking, your body never had it before because this stuff is like from the ground. We are in the United States. We have a whole lot of food that has GMO in it. This junk ain't even real food, half of it anyway. So with that being said, our body's going to have another effect compared to somebody probably in another country or something like that because they eat differently than we do. So my whole thing is very important what you're putting in your body and making sure you're easing your way into things because you need to see what's affecting your body. If you go into, if anything happened to you and you have to go to the hospital, you need to know. So my whole thing, if you're going to do it, I always tell people to do a journal. Write a journal out. Today I took my medicine. I took this, and this, and this. This is how I'm feeling. This is what happened. I had an outbreak today. It didn't last this long, blah, blah, blah. I need you to write everything down. So now if anything happens or anything funny happens, you got to document whatever's going on with you. And when you do have to go to the hospital or anything not worst case scenario, something happened because you had an allergic reaction. Now you can be honest and say, hey doc, I was taking this, that, da. And he was like, oh, you may just had an allergic reaction to something. This is not to scare you, this is to educate you. I don't want anybody doing anything and not taking the precautions they need to protect yourself. My whole thing is herpes is not a death sentence, but my whole thing is you don't want to die trying to get rid of herpes either, guys. I'm just being honest with you. Like, take your time, do your research, and make sure other people have tried it. My whole thing, I'm not telling you to, wait on somebody else to do something, but my whole thing is protect yourself in the process. Protect the money that you work hard for. Protect your health and your family in the process of that stuff. So if you're going to do it, make sure everybody knows that you're doing it, who you're doing it with, and you do your research. I have seen too many scams out here, guys. And a lot of people, we are just, as people in the herpes community, we are really, really excited and can't wait for a cure. Don't let anybody take advantage of you. If you feel like it's wrong, it's typically wrong. I'm being honest. Or ask somebody within the community. It's too many support groups, anything like that. Or you can simply ask me and I'm like, I ain't never heard of that stuff. I don't know where it came from. So my whole thing is ask people who are within the community first before you jump into some things. Because somebody could say, hey, I came across that. Or hey, I did that. I did that. My whole thing is always great to ask questions. So my whole thing, ask questions before you jump into stuff sometimes. I just don't want you to just do it and you thinking that, it's a great thing for you when you find out you're allergic to some type of root or you're allergic to some type of thing that they give you, or you have allergic reaction to something and nobody knows you're doing this and nobody knows who this person is, and you can't really do anything because you got it through some jippy person, type thing. So my whole thing is be safe. My whole thing is I would never suggest y'all to do anything that I have never done. And I'm not telling you not to try to cure yourself. I'm not telling you not to do any of that stuff, but I'm telling you to be safe. I love you. I want you to stay alive. Herpes is not going to kill you. You can have a husband. You can have all of this stuff. It all starts within your mental state. My whole thing is be mentally ready to cure yourself from herpes. Don't just do it because you want to get over the pain or I don't want to have any more outbreaks. Yes, that's all cool and dandy. But my whole thing, are you going to have a game plan not to get here again? Because if not, you're gonna be back here, and it's gonna be even harder for you next time to try to get rid of it, because now you already know how it feels to have herpes, and to turn around and get it again, it can be very devastating. So with that being said, guys, I just really want you guys to be safe. Make sure you're really researching. Make sure you asking questions. Question these people until their head fall off. If they get frustrated with you, you need to bounce. Because at the end of the day, this is your health on the line, and you need to make sure what you're putting in your body is real. Okay, there's too many people out here selling crap on the market. So my whole thing is don't put yourself at risk. So hopefully this helped you guys. Like I said, I don't know anybody who have cured themselves from herpes. If you have cured yourself and you're a real person, no, oh my God, and I don't want to see that little crappy crap. No, if you have really cured yourself from herpes, I mean, you have no outbreaks. It is not in your blood anymore. It's giving you a negative, all this stuff like that. Put your information below. Share your story, things of that nature. I would love to get you on, talk to you about it, and have everybody come to you and ask you exactly what you're doing. So now you could be the person who do that. But being honest, guys, I am not the person for that. A lot of people are like, well, at least you should come up with a cure and sell it. I'm not here for that. I know my purpose. I know my calling. I know what I'm here for. I'm here to help y'all overcome the stigma. When we help you overcome the stigma, and then we can get to a point where we can force them to do a cure. But until then, it's going to take a minute for us to get a cure, because wow, we got to get over ourselves so we can step up and get out here and really do what we need to do and advocate for ourselves. So with that being said, guys, I love you very much. I'll be talking to you soon.